Hot 91, the soul of VA. I'm Alana Mercedes, and it is 12 o'clock on a Wednesday, so you already know what time it is, ladies and gentlemen. And on Club Creative today, I'm super excited to be hosting such a wonderful talent. A gem right here from Virginia. Cameron Parker is proving that homegrown talent can carry heavyweight stories. Known for a sound that slices through with warmth, reflection, and intention, Cameron Parker is a storyteller, navigating growth, faith, and purpose through his music. With tracks like Higher and Shine, he's inviting us all into a journey that's both personal and universal, so you can relate to it too. So today we're diving into the mindset behind the music, the legacy he's building, and the ways Virginia continues to pulse through every beat. So, welcome to Club Creative, Cameron.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, it's an honor to have you here. We were just talking about how the first time I saw you perform was at the Mocha, and I'm like, okay, we spoke before you performed. You know, I was like, oh, he's a great guy, very cool, whatever. And then you got up there, and I was like, oh, okay, now I understand the hype. Like, I see exactly why you are who you are. You know what I mean? So it's really cool to have you up here today.
Absolutely.
Yes. Now, I want to talk about this. I know it's a much earlier single for you, Forever. Mm-hmm. But your single Forever, I feel like has Forever Life has foreshadowed kind of what you're doing now, using your God-given gifts and talents to move people and inspire them to reach new heights. Mm-hmm. But let's take a step back. So how did your first steps in music start? Like, what did that look like for you? When did you know that it was no longer a hobby and it was like a real thing?
Okay, so like originally, I would say around like 11th grade, I went to Kings Fork High School. A friend of mine, his dad was the road manager for Teddy Riley, and he heard some of my music, and he was like, I'm gonna tell my dad about you. So he told his dad, and before I knew it, he had me and all my friends in the living room, and Teddy Riley was on the phone and was like, hey, I'd love to like borrow you guys for a month or so, basically to get y'all recordings and kind of get y'all started. So Teddy Riley was like my grand entrance to.
That's actually crazy.
Yeah, I was playing basketball at the time too. Like that was what was on my mind. Like I want to go to college, play basketball, do the whole thing, and then once that happened, that was it.
I do remember you telling me that. So with Teddy Riley, because I was gonna ask like when did he enter the chat, but no wonder. I mean, it was really early on. Yeah. So do you know at all what it was like making music before that? Because I know, of course, you were focused on basketball at first, but what was the process like? Like, how was it different once he entered the chat?
So at the time, me and my friends were literally like recording out of like a closet, like in the house. Like we link up every weekend and we would just do it that way. So we were just having fun. I think a lot of times, like when you're having fun in the process of doing what you're doing, like time moves fast and you get to where you need to be. So we're just enjoying the process. And before we knew it, Teddy Riley called like a year later, and we was like, oh, cool.
That's crazy. Like, that doesn't happen to just anybody. Teddy Riley has worked with some greats, Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson, Mary J. Blige, like everybody. So to have somebody like that in your corner is actually insane.
Yeah, it didn't quite register at the time because we were so young. And my mom was like, do you have any idea? So she showed me the Google, and I was like, oh, okay.
I'm so glad that she was able to tell you because, that's a big deal. That is a big deal. So what kind of changes did your life kind of see after working with Teddy Riley? Like, where did you go from there?
Pretty much I was able to kind of like spring off of that. I was able to work with like a lot of credible producers from around the area afterwards. So Bink being one, like Beast. And a lot of industry vets kind of came on the heels after like having, I guess, like that cosign or like that entrance into everything. So yeah, we're ready. Like, yeah.
But that's the obvious. And I was going to say, like, you came out the gate with straight fire. Like, your music was immediately great. And I was wondering, did you have any music out, like, before 2020? Because that's where I kind of saw it start. I'm like, did you have it out? Did you scrub the internet? Like, how did you come out the gate with literally, like, fire music?
So I would say I started, like, fairly young, too. Like, it's like 2012, 13-ish, somewhere
years
around
ago,
there. Yeah, and so at that point, I was part of like a very popular group from around the area called Breeze Park. So like, so that was my very beginnings that kind of got me to where like the 2020 stretching up, that just came off the heels of that.
Okay, I had no idea. And I listened to some of Breeze Park, but I don't think I realized what I was hearing.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So in Angel Child, one of your songs, which I love, I love the video, like, excellent. You pay homage to those people and places who helped kind of raise you and shape you into who you are today. So tell me about the importance of your upbringing and how that has impacted your career today.
Upbringing is everything, as you know. Like I'm from Suffolk, Virginia. So with that being said, like by nature, we kind of have like this chip on our shoulder to where like when we do like present ourselves, we got to make sure we make a great first impression. So everywhere I go, whether it's like the Mocha, doing different events, like vibe check, like I'm from Suffolk, so okay, I got to make sure people remember. So it's always good to like have it planted in the music, and then people be like, okay, like you can kind of identify it. So like the Kendrick Lamar's like, oh, Compton, Cole, Carolina, me, Suffolk, Virginia. So I just want to make sure I stand where I'm from.
I love that. I love how you are repping where you're from, no matter where you go. And I feel like your music is going far. It's going to go everywhere for sure. Now, your flow has been described as a warm knife and butter. It has, and honestly, but I understand it now. Like, your music has a very specific vibe. It's very encouraging. It's not, I really hate to say it, but it's not low vibrational music.
No,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's very much high vibrational music. So how would you describe your musical style to somebody hearing you for the first time? Or maybe somebody who hasn't had a chance to listen to you yet?
I definitely say I delve into soul a lot. So it's always some element of soul in there, which is, fire, Hot 91.
There you go. The soul, okay.
But yeah, so I just keep the soul there. Also, just like high vibration. I know the kids are listening. You know what I mean? Like, not only like are people my age and a little younger are listening. It's like it's kids. So it's like I look at how I was raised up on music from the blog era. Like I came up like under like Wiz, Kid Cudi, like Kendrick Lamar. Those were who we looked to. So I'm like, okay, I'm just giving the game back what it gave me as far as like the inspiration and everything. So
for sure,
and everybody can listen to it.
Yes, and I was gonna say that it's like it's universal. The message is crazy, and it's it all like your music. I feel like has a similar theme. It's all very different, very unique in design, but it has a similar message. So we definitely got to get into that part of it because I feel like it's a big part of who you are.
Sure.
So ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for Cameron Parker for Club Creative on Hot 91, the soul of VA. 91, the soul of VA. I'm Alana Mercedes, and for Club Creative Hour today, we are joined by none other than the so talented Cameron Parker. And I'm not even gassing. The music is incredible. It truly speaks for itself.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Now, question before we get into this mission portion: how much time goes into writing a song for you? Because I noticed you push your pen.
Right.
Okay, that's definitely all you. But although, like I said, it has a similar like theme and message, each song is different. So it's different. So I'm asking, like, is it experience based? Is it like mission based? Like, how long does it take you to write a song?
I definitely would say it's kind of like a mix of both. What's interesting over the last like year or two, I've been able to almost like freestyle a lot of like the ideas I have. So basically, like a lot of people who write or rap in general, like we would lay references down where we'll just like freestyle, because that's where you get like your most natural element of flow, kind of, you know what I mean? So it's like I'll like do the first thing that I hear and listen back to it, and then I kind of formulate the words from there. So it chopped the process down like 50% in terms of time. So it could be anything between 30 minutes or sometimes
minutes. Yeah. Okay, that's crazy.
or sometimes depending, is like you'll get a good start on something and come back to it. So it could range from like as little as 30 minutes if I'm feeling it, or it may take days, weeks, sometimes a month, depending. Yeah, so I just really like to sit with them all.
Okay, and that makes sense. Now, to me, that says that it really is not, as the church folks say, it's not on you, it's in you. Because the way that your music, like I said, if it takes you 30 minutes to describe what you're describing in these pieces, it's like, that just really must be a mission that you believe in, what you're talking about. So let's definitely get into that. Last week, I interviewed Alyssa of Effant Clothing, and we were talking about how important it is to understand that your gifts that are given to you are for other people.
Right.
Like, our spiritual gifts that each of us are given is just for the sake of community, I feel.
Right.
So how would you describe what your mission is, or what you think it is? I know what I think it is based on your songs, but I want to hear it from the source.
I would definitely say it's just giving like lifestyle motivation, like it's like very fly and positive, kind of, like, you know what I mean? So, and like I said, it kind of piggybacks off of like what I grew up on. I listened to a ton of like Wiz, Dom Kennedy, certain things that like influence like the lifestyle, like flyer vibes on it. But as far as like the lyrics and like as far as like what I'm speaking on, those are like the Cole, Kendrick mixtape days, Drake mixtape days. So I don't know, it's just kind of a fusion of everything I came up on. But more importantly, the main ingredient is like just motivation. You know what I mean? Because everybody could use that at any point of the day.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So I just want to make sure I have something for like every experience or time in life, if you will.
Mm-hmm. And I totally agree. It's evergreen music. Like if ever I needed to be, and I was just thinking this to myself when I was listening to it this morning, like whenever I need some type of like fill my cup, if you would, like something like that, this is the type of music I would listen to. Absolutely. Something to remind you that like, you got this. I don't know. It almost gives like Larry June. You know how his music's kind of just like, just go for it. Just do it. You know, that's exactly what your music gives me. So I think that's incredible. And it is a reflection of your actual lifestyle, is it not?
Right. Very much.
Okay. How so?
Like,
how do you like to live?
I literally like to really just stay out of the way and do my thing. That's it. Like, I think I come from like studying that era where it was like heavy mystique about like the stars and superstars. So it's just like, I'll make sure at least when I do come out and present things, it's like it has like a lot of value in it. You know what I mean? That way, like my words carry a lot of weight. So, of course, now, you know, you have to be a little more visible, which is totally fine. You know what I mean? It's just now, you know, we have a mission as we go, and we're going to make sure we drop it off everywhere we at.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, with great power comes great responsibility.
Right.
Because, again, in your songs, they're always talking about, I'm here for this. I was given this gift. I have to do something with it. And you are. But like I said, comes great responsibility, which can be kind of stressful at times. So how do you, if you feel any pressure to carry this mission out, if you would, how do you go about handling that kind of pressure, especially being in the industry, talking about it, so having to walk it too? Like, how do you handle that?
The main thing for me that helps me get past all of that is just having a strong team. So everyone on my team from like All Indie Records, which is something me and my partner Rove started like a year and a half ago in Richmond. It's pretty much like an indie label, if you will. So I mean, through our team, including Lou, who's here right now, we literally all get together and specialize in different things that put us together. And like I said, he was like, we did all this stuff independent. And I was like, All Indie, that's the name. We were searching for a name for like 6 months to a year. And that's what it was from there.
That's tough.
So having a strong team will definitely help you out, because Rove is not letting me go at all. You know, that's my friend since like 14. So
wow.
Yeah, he represents me in management and everything. So
that's excellent. I love seeing people come together and make things happen, especially here in the Virginia creative community.
For sure.
And I've seen you in action with the creative community, performing, for instance, at the Social Supply event that I first saw you at the Mocha. So how would you describe the Virginia creative community as far as being open to helping artists or open to grooming artists? Like, what has your experience been like with this community?
It's been really good. A lot of like the vets, you know, have been like very they respect what's going on. You know what I mean? They watch closely, they pay attention, they support in any way they can. As far as the scene in general, I love how it's opening up. Like, I mean, all the different events that are going on, like your Rock the Docks, Traptastics, all the ones I didn't name, I'm sorry. it's a lot of different things, Social Supply going on that are like helping spread like awareness. And you know, you're finding your favorite DJs, your favorite artists, favorite event planners, like all of that all in one space, and like that's what was needed. And to see it grow is good for me. I like it even if it's not necessarily for myself, because it's Virginia, you know what I mean? Exactly.
And I feel like you show a lot of love through, like you said, through your music, repping Virginia and everything that we do here. So I don't think we can be mad at that at all.
Not at all.
Now, with you being years into the game as far as music goes, what would you say has been the hardest part about being in this kind of industry, especially one where I feel like there's certain parts of the industry, the like less niche parts, the more popular parts that, you know, celebrate top 40 kind of music. And I'm not saying you don't make top 40 kind of music, because I mean, shoot, I think you could absolutely be on the charts. But you know, they have a specific vibe that they're looking for at times. So what would you say is the hardest part about being in an industry like this?
To be honest, the hardest part would be, I would say, I'm learning like the consistency of keeping up, because things are always changing.
True.
You know what I mean? So it's just like the same game you knew 2-3 years ago isn't even that anymore. At one point it used to just be for 5-10 years, that's what it is. Then we change and it goes to something else. But that's the power of the internet. So the thing is you have to be willing to roll with it and adjust. And honestly, it would be adjusting, but hey, in order for me to stay, I got to do that. So
I think, and you're right, but that's so interesting how the internet entered the chat and then made everything like so rapid. Like,
for sure.
You have to keep up and be adaptable in order to stay afloat. So
Instant.
I definitely commend you for that. And with that being said, what is a skill that you would say that you, well, outside of adaptability, that you have acquired from being in an industry like this?
Patience. That's the biggest skill, you know. A lot of times, of course, being that we're in a time now, the internet has entered the chat, like you said, it's like you begin to expect instant. But the thing is, it's like there's still a process to everything. So it's really just falling in love with the process and practicing that patience, because that's everything.
Wow.
Things will flow how they're supposed to.
I love that. How wise to say. That was so real. That's so real. Like, right. Patience is something we can all kind of learn from or need to learn. So I feel that one personally. Yeah. Now with that, the patience thing. Actually, wait. So again, you've been years into the game, years into the industry, you've grown patience, you've had all of this cool stuff. How has your music career reshaped your identity from the beginning? Because you got picked up at a very young age by a huge star. Teddy Riley's huge. So I'm looking at, the Cameron Parker that's obviously this wise. I would almost call you, can I call you a vet in it now? Like,
sure. How about it?
I feel like it's been years, but you're a rising star for sure. But
Thank you.
You know what I mean? But yeah, like, how has it helped to shape your inner identity now or reshape who you were back then?
It definitely put me in a position to where, I think it's in anything when you start young and develop like the experiences and see different things, it shapes you for what's ahead. So like just being able to have like a certain etiquette when going in rooms as far as like networking and things of that nature, like I was being introduced at 17, 18. So I learned really fast, and industry is very fast paced, just like everything else. So I would say, man, you definitely learn a lot young. And Teddy Riley, he laid it out on us very early. He was just like, make sure everything you do, like, it's 100%, and you can stand behind your name being on it. Make sure every room you go in, you're remembered. Speak to everybody in the room. You know what I mean? So it's just basic etiquette. And then from there, it's just patience in terms of what's to come from there. So whatever is to come, or whatever is for you will be for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All of those things I feel are important, especially industry-wise, but personally, like in your own personal life, what kind of lessons do you think have been the most important for you to learn?
That I think being so young and having those opportunities, like a lot of time you kind of expect things to keep coming back that way. And it just taught me just personally, like, hey, like nobody owes you anything. You still have to work even with like the cosigns and the backings of different things, but also like just life set aside, it's just no one owes you anything. You have to go for it. You know what I mean? So just like I said, patience is like that main thing that just kept me like, that really bled over into like the identity of things, and just being exposed to so much. Yeah, just being exposed to so much definitely just humbles you. And I always want to stay humble and grounded,
For sure. I totally feel that one. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. Cameron Parker still in the building on Hot 91, the soul of VA. Hot 91, the soul of VA. I'm Alana Mercedes. Cameron Parker in the building for Club Creative Hour. And we got to, for one moment, give Virginia our props, okay? Because Virginia, I don't think that people give us the kind of acknowledgement that we deserve here with the kind of talent that we have. But I definitely want to talk about the fact that your all-indie team is from here, and that you make sure to rep Virginia, no matter where you're at, no matter where you go. So, like I said, what would you want us, or not us, because I feel like we're doing our part here.
Right.
But what would you want to be seen done differently in the Virginia creative scene? And not even just within the creatives. I'm talking within, I don't know, maybe people who are able to be, I really hate to say movers and shakers.
Right.
I just feel like it's so corny. But people who are able to make change, make differences, people who are able to, put us more on the map. What kind of differences would you want to see in this area? Like, to make people put some respect on our name?
I would say for real, like the first thing that came to my head is more collaboration. You know what I mean? So like all of like our rising like stars and artists around the area, like if you like what somebody's doing, like when you see them, go ahead, let's get to work. You know what I mean? So for instance, like with the record with me and G Lit, the CU record that you guys play, that just seeing like her fan base and mine collide and it go even further past that now, that's off the strength of collaboration. You know what I mean? So I think that like all of us that are like in the forefront to represent it, let's just get together and make records if it makes sense. Because at the end of the day, it's just like that's where all of our fan bases join forces and our voice is louder. So yeah, let's get in the studio.
Make it work. I mean? Let's work. You know what I mean? But I love how you're not the only artist who has said collaboration. I had Shan up here. She said the same thing. But I love how it seems as though the community, at least amongst artists, is pretty knitted together.
For sure. Absolutely.
Like, yeah, it feels like you guys support each other really well. I see everybody posting each other's things.
Absolutely.
And of course, when I heard See You live, that was the craziest. Like, I couldn't believe, I had never seen G-Lit perform live. Incredible vocals. She is so talented. I'd never heard you rap, period. And I was, like I said, I was gagged. Like, I was like, yo, what? This is right here in Virginia? But incredible collaboration.
Thank you.
Who's another artist that you think you would want to collaborate with?
I definitely want to collab with Shan. I think she's, like, incredible. I definitely... another person from my city, his name is Zara Bash. Insane. Like, I don't know if you've heard of him or checked him out, but he's coming very soon. I've done work with Tyler Donovan. Pretty much everybody.
He's dope. Tyler Donovan.
He's a great performer too. Hands down one of the best. Like, for sure. So
all right, that's a bet.
I would say, can I say like on a major level?
For sure. Absolutely.
Oh, P, what's up? I need a me
absolutely. That would be crazy.
Yeah,
that would be crazy.
Yeah, Pharrell, I say Pusha T would be fire. All like the people before us as well.
No, you're right. The founding fathers of the Virginia creative music scene. You're absolutely correct. That would be dope to see you collab with them. And I don't feel like that's out of reach. I really don't. Like we said, with all that's going on in Virginia, all that's being built in this area, like, I see a lot of cool things happening. I'm happy for us. I'm happy for us. You know what I mean? Now, speaking of cool things coming.
Hey.
Okay, let's just go ahead and get into the news because you spilled the beans on me. I had no idea what you had coming up, but now that the cat's out the bag, please let the public know what you have coming up.
Okay, so in like the coming month, I'll be dropping my second album following Park Angel from 2024, and it's going to be called American Rap Star. So,
American Rap Star. Yeah. That's tough. Okay. Yep. Do we have any features up there that we can expect?
There is one that I have right now. His name is Butch Dawson. He's based out of Baltimore.
Cool.
So yeah, DMV. Yeah, I made that connect. So he's on a record I have called Wise Man, which is really cool. And I have a couple other sneak things in there, but yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
You've told us enough today, so that's okay. Nice. We'll wait for the rest of the surprise. That's fine. And then, do you have a date for the album, or?
No date specifically, but I know we're aiming 100% for July. Just being, of course, like July 4th, American Rap Star.
Yes.
So that's why you see a bunch of like USA symbolism, like at Vibe
I noticed. Check. Yeah. I was like, why is he wearing that flag around his head? Like, is that fashion? But okay, that makes sense.
A little bit of both.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It definitely doubled as both. But okay, so next month we can look forward to a new album drop. Very excited about that. What about any performances coming up? Are we going to see you on any stages? I know you were just on one, but
as far as performances, I really just been trying to make sure like I have like the album and everything wrapped up in full. That way, next time I do return to the stage, is a full new experience. You know what I mean? So it's all new music. But I'm pretty sure very soon, it could be as soon as I get off the phone, I end up having an event. So, yeah. But
that happens quickly. That's crazy.
Very, yeah.
And actually, okay, that reminds me. You were talking about how the growth was happening really fast. Like things just started happening, and that's something I talked about. I feel like yesterday on my show, actually, how it feels like growth takes a long time, but out of nowhere you turn around and it's like opportunity after opportunity after opportunity.
Right.
With all of that happening for you, and I'm sure it's going to continue happening and continue expanding. How do you find time or ways to stay grounded? How do you keep yourself grounded in such a crazy frenzy of a career?
To be honest, is like working. Like I have a full-time job as well as like doing music like full-time pretty much. So,
yeah.
Just in the business I work in like sales. So just meeting new people, like hearing people's experiences. It just helps me connect with like the world around me and realize that like, it's also so much a real life outside of this. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it just teaches me to just be grateful for the position I'm in. And yeah, like just being amongst the public. Man,
Okay, absolutely. It's community holding it down. Obviously,
Absolutely.
such a big part. And lastly, Cameron, what kind of mark do you hope to leave on Virginia? Not just the creative scene, but just your home in general. Like, what do you hope to leave behind when people are looking back? Like, I remember Cameron Parker.
A legacy, like just something to where like in the next like 40, 50, however many years after the fact, like it'll almost be like a very like almost like I had a very prophetic existence, you know what I mean? Like I'm a huge like Tupac fan, and it's like just think about the fact that he died like 30 years ago and people still speak of him as if it was like just yesterday. So it's just I want to be remembered far after like everything is all said and done, but more so it's like I really want to touch my community, you know what I mean? Like Suffolk, of course, and then like everywhere around me, and then from there we capture the world. So yeah.
I think you're doing that. I think you're doing that.
Slowly but surely,
but kind of quickly. I don't know. Like it's being, like I said, expressed through your music, the mission that you have, and I think it's going far. You have such an incredible sound, like I said. So I can't wait to see what happens next for you. Like I know it's going to be massive. So
thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad I got to sit down with you before. It's hard to reach you. You know what I mean?
No, I'll always come back through. Actually, thank y'all so much for having me, for sure.
Of course. Thank you for joining us today for Club Creative. Y'all be on the lookout for the brand new album. All right, American Rap Star. I cannot wait to listen to the new album now. Seriously, you have a new fan. But that's Club Creative Hour for today. Make sure you stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Have your mental health moment with Mercedes coming up next on Hot 91, the soul of VA.